some breakfast, and there's this guy behind me in the elevator. A little weird. And it's interesting being in this hotel because to me it kind of feels like Stella Nova at Epic Universe was heavily inspired by this. You can definitely see that in the room design and everything, which is really cool. Alrighty, we have made it to park number 1, Warner Brothers World here in Yas Island. This is a park that I'm actually very excited for because they have a lot of very cool looking dark rides, one of which, as I've been talking about, is the Batman Nightflight Kuka Arm dark ride, which if you guys have ridden Monsters Unchained or Forbidden Journey, same ride system as those. So theming that to Batman has me very excited. I also love all the little things they have on the ground here. Kind of reminds me of Movie Town at Great Adventure with all the coasters they have in the ground, except here it's all the characters of Warner Brothers. Love the cinematic music as you walk in here. You get this nice big entrance plaza. Very weird, you know, having a indoor coaster like this. Looks like Fast and Furious is closed. Is that? I hope that's not one of the coasters. I just checked and that is in fact one of the coasters. So I guess that's one credit not happening. That's annoying. All right, here we go in. I don't really know anything about the layout of this park. I just know that it has Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and DC. What an impressive entrance. So you might be confused why they're playing Harry Potter stuff. They're actually working on building a massive Harry Potter expansion to this park right now. And that's gonna be to the left, I believe. But I guess they're advertising for it early. This looks incredible. I love what they have on the ceiling. Really, really, really immersive. Perfect timing. So we're starting the day over in Cartoon World. This is where the 2 coasters are. Of course, one is closed, which I was not aware of prior to buying a ticket, but whatever. We'll start with the Tom and Jerry Cheese Spin, which I believe is a spinning coaster. And then where I really want to spend most of my time is going to be over in Gotham City because they have a lot of really cool, uniquely themed rides here. This is really, really cool looking. I mean, for an indoor park, I haven't really been to very many, but this is definitely an imposing look. It's a shame this ride's closed because the scenery around it looks super cool. I guess I'm a little blind because Tom and Jerry is literally right here. Once again, these parks just have some really incredibly themed queues. This looks awesome. A whole kitchen table set up here. And just like the other parks we've been to in the UAE, they all have very large queues that I'm assuming don't really get filled at all, judging off the crowd patterns I've seen thus far at these parks. Look at this queue, it just seems to never end. All right, we just got off the Tom and Jerry Cheese Spin, I think it's called. And it's funny because this ride felt almost identical to Spider-Man. It's not the same model or anything, but they seem to do the same style of theming where you're in a dark room and kind of like Rock and Roller Coaster and even Madagascar from over at Motion Gate, you have these props that are static and just jump out at you with lights. It's very, very interesting. But it was fun. It had a lot of good spinning to it, and I thought it was a fairly enjoyable ride. Where's Darius? Darius, you had never ridden that before, right?
No, I haven't at all.
Yeah, it does a lot of that as you're going into the station. It's pretty funny, actually.
It was fun.
Yes.
It was fun.
Now we're gonna go on the Scooby-Doo Museum of Mysteries, which I believe is a dark ride, so let's go check it out. Again, these queues are so well themed. Look at all those, are those bugs? Those are bugs. Wow. It's too bad you don't really get to soak it in because you don't have to wait, which I wouldn't normally say is a bad thing, but these queues are just so well done. All right, so we just did the Scooby-Doo dark ride. As you can see, it is another trackless dark ride, and I really did like it. I thought it was very good. The one thing I'm noticing about a lot of these Dubai trackless dark rides is that they all use the same ride system, which is very slow and the movement isn't very good. And I think that's where this ride kind of falters because it has a lot of really good sequences, some really nice animatronics, but it just moves too slow and not with enough, I guess, oomph to really kind of accentuate the danger of the situations. And that's where I think rides like Rise of the Resistance are just so much better with their ride systems because they move quicker, they have better movement. But it was fun. Darius, had you ever ridden that before?
No. I just want to know who owns that company because there's like 7 of them at each one of these parks.
Yes, they're everywhere. It's kind of crazy.
Multiples.
It's the same ride system too,
Yeah.
the same one. It's very, very interesting. But now we're gonna continue. I don't think there's really that much else in Cartoon World that's really designed for anyone but a little kid. I know that there is a shooting dark ride with Daffy Duck over here in the Acme area, so definitely want to check that out before heading over to Gotham. All right, here it is, Mayhem, the shooting dark ride. I'm hoping this is better than the other 2 we've done in Dubai, because so far Dubai has not had very good shooting dark. The UAE has not had very good shooting dark rides. But The queue, again, looks incredible. It's all Acme themed. So I'm assuming we're gonna see some Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner in here. It's a very interesting loading procedure. It looks like it is another trackless dark ride, just with blasters this time. So there are just trackless dark rides everywhere over here. This is wild. All right, we just got off of the shooting dark ride, and this had the exact same problem as all the other ones I've had so far, with a very stiff and almost impossible to use trigger. Like, the sets were actually really good in this one. I think it was probably the best out of all the ones we've done in the UAE so far, better than Ghostbusters and Gumball. But those triggers, they're all the same and they all suck. So not happy with that at all. But I mean, it was at least somewhat enjoyable. However, Darius, I did beat you this time.
Yeah,
so I'm 2 for 1.
You're the best of the worst.
The best of the worst. That's one way to put it. Now we are entering what is by far my most anticipated part of this park, Gotham City. There's quite a few rides in here I'm very excited to experience. Probably the highlight for me is going to be Batman Nightflight, the Kuka Arm Dark Ride. And you're probably noticing as we're walking through that there is absolutely nobody here. I mean,
What are you talking about?
well, yeah, Darius is here, but I mean, besides Darius and I, you would think this park is closed. There's nothing here. There's no one here. It's a Saturday too. That's the weird part. And whoa, this is sick. So we have a Mr. Freeze themed ice cream location. Of course, why wouldn't you? This is the Riddler themed disco ride. And I know it has a very cool effect when it crashes through this building here. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm gonna see it run because there's nobody here, but that is there. There's the Joker Funhouse, which is a walk-through attraction. There is Scarecrow Scare Raid, which is a Zamperla air race. But what I am looking for is Batman Nightflight. This is the Joker Funhouse walk-through attraction. I don't really know what this entails. I just know it exists. So we're gonna see what it is. Well, we just did the Joker Funhouse, and that was one of the strangest things I've ever experienced. Basically, imagine like your typical like Funhouse style thing, just with all Batman villains decorating throughout, and you know, each area being themed. There's Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Penguin, etc., etc. Basically everybody you see out here in the queue. And they don't let you bring your bags, and I learned why very quickly, and that is because there's a slide at the end, which I was not expecting. So that was really, really cool. Definitely don't miss it. Lots of really interesting little effects. There's a pre-show too with the Joker. I was pleasantly surprised by that, actually. We've turned the corner and made it to Batman Nightflight. Definitely the star attraction for me here. I'm very, very excited for this. So this queue is themed after Wayne Tech. Lots of really, really cool stuff in here. I guess this is a piece of one of Batman's planes or jets. Some fans as well. Yeah, Darius has a personal appointment with Bruce. We got to go the special way because we have a special appointment with Bruce, apparently. Made it to the elevator. Is it actually gonna go up?
Welcome to Wayne Tech Job Fair. Your interview is scheduled for conference room 52.
52.
Security access granted.
Good, you're here. I've been watching you since the minute you stepped into this building.
All right, we've made it to the Batcave. This is sick. Alrighty, we just got off of Batman Nightflight, and I have a lot of thoughts on this. This is the ride I was kind of looking forward to the most, just because it's a Kuka Arm Dark ride. Those are typically like some of the most immersive rides you can have, and this ride was definitely immersive, right? It was cool. The queue was definitely my favorite part of it because the queue was super well done. It felt the most like Universal I've seen out of any of these parks. The ride itself, it has a lot of the same issues that I had with Monsters on my first rides, where there's a lot of things you shouldn't see that you do see, where the screens don't blend that well with the physical sets. Also, this ride was way too reliant on screens for my liking. I mean, obviously Monsters is ahead of its time with how it's just all animatronics, but even compared to like Forbidden Journey, this was definitely more screen heavy than Forbidden Journey, but it was still good. Some of the screens had some of the most abysmal resolution I've ever seen. Like, you could see the pixels clear as day, which when you're moving on a Kuka Arm and, you know, as close as you are to that, that's not great. My speaker personally was blown out. I know, Darius, yours was fine, right?
Yep, it was fine, but the screens, oh my God.
They were not great.
Not great, pixelated, low frame rate, low bit rate.
Yes. And another gripe I had is that the Kuka itself barely like shook and moved. It didn't do anything. No, the Kuka didn't kook. You're using a Kuka arm ride system. It should be moving around and like jerking you. There was only a few moments you really felt. It just didn't have that level of movement that you would expect out of a Kuka arm. So I'm not gonna say I'm like totally disappointed. The Q was a pleasant surprise, but the ride itself, definitely not universal level quality.
It was a C.
Yeah, I think a C is a fair assessment.
Yeah. I think the bigger interesting observation was the fact that it's the first time I've not seen them load on a turntable.
Yes.
They load it in a docked format where they would like lock into a specific
you come up
station.
vertically like this and then come down and lock in, as opposed to the, you know, either turntable or just continually moving platform.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting. But now, Green Lantern's right here. You want to go do Green Lantern? Sure. Let's do it. Once again, this park does not cease to amaze with the cues. Inside this observatory, there's like all the different planets. So you got Krypton, Martian Manhunter was up there, Thanagar. So it looks like this is a flying theater. All right, we just got off of Green Lantern, and if you guys know me, you know I usually hate flying theaters. That is by far the best flying theater I've ever ridden. And not only is it the best flying theater I've ever ridden, that is one of the best like rides we've done this trip. I think it's definitely the best ride here. I like it better than Batman. And what I like so much about it is that you're not like, you know, flying from scene to scene, disconnected, where it's like, oh, look at this landmark and look at this landmark. No, you're following Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, through the entire thing, and you wind up going to the Blue Lantern planet, which is really, really cool looking, and then you go to the Yellow Lanterns, where Sinestro and all of them are, and you have this giant battle, and it's so well done. The effects are just great, so great. Darius, what did you think of Green Lantern?
I think that's the first demonstration of a flying theater that's a family thrill ride. They shake you a little bit. I mean,
it's aggressive.
Yeah, you mentioned, you know, it's continuous. I thought it was an excellent ride. I've never thought of a flying theater as a family thrill ride.
No, that was by far the most aggressive one I've ever been on, best one I've ever been on, and it has 3D glasses, which I didn't love the 3D glasses, the way they fit, but the effect was really, really good on them. So if you do happen to come to this park, come here and ride this ride. Don't skip it. It's fantastic. I don't know what this is. There's a Teen Titans Training Academy. They got the Robin bike out here. What is this? Oh, it's like a whole like kids ropes course. That's cool. Now it is time for Justice League War World Attacks. It's gonna be interesting because we just rode an Avengers themed dark ride the other day at IMG, and now we get to ride a Justice League themed dark ride that I believe is not a shooting dark ride. This Hall of Justice looks so much better than any of the Six Flags ones. This actually looks like a Hall of Justice. All right, so we just got off of Justice League right here, and you can see this ride vehicle, which is probably my biggest issue with the ride. So the ride itself is actually really, really good. Very much so like Spider-Man. Very, very much so like Spider-Man. And you can see it also, just like some of the other rides here, has this weird docking setup. I know the Daffy Duck shooting ride had the same thing where it slides into place. They really like that kind of setup here. But that ride vehicle, the problem is, so we were in the back row, you can barely see anything because there's no room to see. You can see how tall all the walls are and everything. It's just not designed in a very intelligent manner. The back row should be much higher up. There should be more of a stadium seating setup. I don't know how much better it is in the front row, but even that nose in the front is very tall, so it's probably not that easy to see, especially if you're smaller. But with that being said, the ride is really good. The screens are very good, very responsive, smooth. The physical sets look good. It is definitely, again, another one that's a little more screen reliant. There weren't any like special effects in the style of Spider-Man with like fog or fire or anything like that. Like even Batman had some fog, but I still thought it was really good.
It's missing the extra movement.
Yeah, it doesn't have that extra axis of rotation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, what did you think of it, Darius?
No, it was a really well-scripted ride. I would have liked better sight lines.
Yeah. And
I think there's a little bit of a peripheral sync where there's a couple of things on your right-hand side that just don't come into focus with the glasses.
Yes.
Great story.
What was his name? Mongrel, the villain?
Mongol.
I've never heard of him before. The plot is easy to follow, though. That I will say. It's very easy to follow.
I kind of like the docking I think it wouldn't work in a high capacity park like Universal.
Right.
But I like the docking for people who don't follow instructions.
Yes. Oh, works perfectly for people who don't follow instructions, which can be people here sometimes. But yeah, that was a good ride. Very good ride. I'd say it's probably right up there with Green Lantern as the best ride here. I gotta say, the way they have their area set up here is just fantastic. It's so well done, especially with the sky in the background of the screen. It really does look good. And for all my Great Adventure viewers, they even have their own water and power. Now it's time for the last ride I plan on riding here, which is Superman 360. Don't really know anything about it. I'm assuming it's like a 40 feeder type thing. That's what it seems like, just looking at it from the outside in. But we'll find out soon. Maybe. I guess I'm Super Colin. I don't know. Super Colin. That sounds great. That's what he has to do. Exactly. Once again, they do not cease to amaze with these incredible entrances to their rides. It's so good. Looks like we're getting ready to go on the news with Lois Lane and Clark Kent. All right, so we just did Superman 360. I want to first point out how they have like all these broken ceiling tiles kind of, showing the aftermath of what just happened in there. So you see that set up right there where you walk in and it's just handrails and you're standing there. It's a very deceiving ride because what happens is, if you don't want to hear the spoilers, skip ahead about 20 seconds. The room's ceiling completely lifts up and reveals this massive 360 screen that just shows, the entire 360 view, because you're looking through these Planet Vision cameras that are meant to capture everything in 360. And basically the plot is that Brainiac is trying to take Metropolis, so he actually does wind up taking it and putting it in like a little dome and ripping it out of the ground, which is crazy. And then of course Superman has to go and rescue Metropolis and just save the whole city, or the whole world rather. And that was really cool. Very unique ride system. Not gonna lie, it's dizzying because you're kind of spinning yourself around to watch all the action with 3D glasses on. But that being said, it is really, really well done. All the dark rides here are actually really cool. Everyone is unique in its own way, which I appreciate. None of them are exactly the same as each other. And this one was very cool. Definitely one of the better rides here. And it looks like they've got some more of the Justice League coming out. I met Superman and Supergirl before. Now they got Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. Hello. We are now exiting the Metropolis DC area. We're gonna try to find some merch. They have tons of Harry Potter merch already, even though they don't have the Harry Potter area yet. Feels very weird seeing Potter merch not at Universal. They have some It merch as well, because of course Warner Brothers owns It, and I would love to see them do an It area. I could only imagine how cool that would be if they had like Pennywise themed stuff. They also have some really nice merch actually. I'm definitely gonna be getting some merch here.
We are in the Warner Brothers store. And let me tell you, one, they have awesome merch, but more importantly, they have some of the coolest people who convince you to get the merch, but they're cool.
Amazing. I got this nice bag, I got this nice jacket.
Show them the jacket.
Yes, the jacket is one of my favorite pieces of merch I've ever gotten. Look at this jacket. It has Bugs Bunny on the back with the Warner Brothers logo. And then this nice front too with the logo of the park and everything. It's amazing.
And he actually doesn't know how much he paid for it, but he paid way less than he would have paid in the States.
It's not important.
Exactly.
And where are you guys from? Where are you from?
I am from Poland. Carolina, nice to meet you. Me from Philippines. Maria, nice meeting you.
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay, yes.
Mabuhay.
All right, we are walking out of Warner Brothers World, Abu Dhabi now. We were here for about two and a half hours, right? Something like that. That's really all you need here.
Took our time.
Yeah, we didn't rush through it or anything. Got some merch, as you guys saw. Met two very, very nice ladies from Poland and the Philippines. Yes, they were very excited to see us. I guess Americans don't come here all that often. But this park, I mean, yes, it doesn't have that much to do, but I think the rides it does have are really good. I think the highlight for me was definitely Green Lantern. Green Lantern knocked my socks off. I was very impressed by that. Superman was cool. Justice League was cool. Tom and Jerry was cool. They were all really, really cool rides. But now we are heading over to park number 2 of the day, which is going to be SeaWorld, which is located in the same complex. If you guys want to see the rest of our day spent at SeaWorld as well as the Stranger Things experience, stay tuned for the video on that coming very soon. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.